This is breaking news, January 13th. Russia has seized Danish installation company Rockwool, taking control of its 4 factories in the country under a presidential decree. Danish installation giant Rockwool has officially lost control of its 4 factories in Russia after a presidential decree placed them under forced external administration. The dramatic move marks a major escalation in the company's long-standing and controversial presence in Russia, with losses estimated at 3.5 billion Danish krona, estimated 469 million euros. Rockwool's Russia factory seized by Russia, a dramatic turn in January of 2026. Rockwool's situation in Russia has been highly controversial, and in January of 2026, it reached a dramatic turning point. Latest development, January 2026. On January 13th, 2026, Rockwool officially announced that it has lost control of its 4 factories in Russia. A Russian presidential decree placed the factories under forced external administration, effectively meaning the Russian state has seized the company's assets. As a result, Rockwool has written off the entire value of its Russian businesses, amounting to approximately 3.5 billion Danish krona, equivalent to 469 million euros. The company considers this as a violation of international rules and plans to legally defend its rights, but it has stated that it is not optimistic about regaining the factories in the near term. Why did Rockwool stay in Russia so long? Since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, Rockwool has been one of the few major Danish companies to remain in Russia. Their reasons included preventing hostile takeover. They feared that leaving would allow the Russian state or local oligarchs to seize their technology or production, which has now happened anyway. Protecting employees. They aim to safeguard approximately 1,200 Russian staff. Compliance with sanctions. Rockwool maintained that it fully adhered to EU sanctions, a claim confirmed by Danish authorities in prior reviews. Controversy and reputation. The decision to remain in Russia sparked widespread criticism from politicians, investors, and Ukraine. Ukraine at one point labeled Rockwool as sponsor of war due to taxes paid in Russia and the presence of its products in Russian military projects such as warships. On the stock market, news of the Russian seizure in January of 2026 caused Rockwool shares to drop about 8% in a single day, reflecting investors' realization that the Russian assets were lost. Background on Rockwool's Russian operations. Rockwool had maintained its factories under passive ownership since 2022 and had donated 500 million Danish krona to fund the reconstruction of Ukraine while also paying Russian taxes. The company believes these donations may have contributed to the Russian decision to place the companies under administration. CEO Jes Munk Hansen describes this takeover as indisputably illegal and a violation of international rules. Rockwool intends to defend its legal rights but acknowledges the situation is now extremely difficult. The Reconstruction Fund focuses exclusively on civilian projects in Ukraine, including housing, emergency aid, and infrastructure, with the half billion Danish krona expected to be spent by 2028. Summary. Rockwool attempted to ride out the storm in Russia to protect its investment and employees, but as of January of 2026, the company's factories have been forcibly seized by the Russian state, marking a dramatic and costly turn in its Russian operations. Rockwool now faces a difficult legal and financial battle as the company calls the takeover undisputably illegal and vows to defend its rights. While the seized assets represent a significant setback, the company's earlier decision to donate 500 million Danish kroner to the Fund for the Reconstruction of Ukraine demonstrates its commitment to civilian aid and reconstruction efforts, even amid one of the most challenging moments in its history. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.